This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 35. The people of Zion said, "May Babylonia be held responsible for the violence done to us." Let the people of Jerusalem say, "May Babylonia be held responsible for what we have suffered." I like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men of GMS for rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. Babylon, the glory of the excellence of the Chaldeans will be destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? This place is destined to be destroyed. And if you want to make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down, you have to have the men of GMS doctrine and the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, so you can make it out of here with your life, okay? Thermonuclear destruction is already set for this place, okay? Let's get it. Turn to the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 21. A few people of a few people of the a few of the people of Israel will come back to their mighty power, even though now there are many people of Israel, as there are grains of the sand of by the sea. Only a few will come back. Destruction is in store for the people, and it is fully deserved. Yes, throughout the whole country, the sovereign Yahweh Almighty will bring destruction as he said he would. So he's going to bring the destruction as he said he would, okay? This thing is going down. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, don't say something, take it back. No, okay? And you won't make it out of here with your life if you don't have this doctrine of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, okay? You have to call upon the names. You have to get this right doctrine before it's too late, okay? While the doors of mercy is still open, okay? That's what this thing's about. Calling upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and having this right doctrine, this sound teaching, okay? And we thank Yahweh, Yahweh Shai that he gave it to the men of GMS, okay? Because we will be screwed, okay? If we didn't have this doctrine, okay? That's how we going to make it out of here with our life when this thing goes down. That's what this is about. The book of Psalms. The book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 15. Call to me when trouble comes, and I will save you, and you will praise me. Okay? So call upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and you're gonna praise Yahweh Shai every time he delivers you, okay? That's what this thing's about, okay? Don't let yourself be killed when this thing goes down, okay? The destruction has been decreed, okay? Yahweh is going to destroy this place, okay? This place is going to be a desert. Let's get it. One moment. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 26. None of the stones from your ruins will ever be used again for building. You will be like a desert forever. I, Yahweh, has spoken, okay? I, Yahweh Shai, have spoken. This place is going to be like a desert, okay? It's nothing going to be remain here, okay? This place is going to be desolate forever. That's why if you want to make it out of here with your life, to be of the few remnant, to make it out of here with your life, you have to call upon the names of Yahweh Shai, so you can make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. We don't have much more time, okay? Whatever tribulations or whatever sufferings you're going through, call upon those holy and divine names, and Yahweh, I promise, will deliver you out of those, whatever you're going through, okay? And get the men of GMS's doctrine while you still can, while the doors of mercy are still open, okay? That's what this is about. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 49. Babylonia caused the death of people all over the world. And now Babylonia will fall because it's caused the death of so many Israelites. Yahweh has spoken, okay? So, slavery, okay? The conquering of the Native American Indians, okay? Our Israelite brothers and sisters, okay? The Rumenite brothers and sisters, okay? The Babylon has to pay, okay? This is how Yahweh Shai is going to get his revenge on Babylon, on Babylonia, okay? This is how Yahweh Shai is going to get his revenge. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 11. Yahweh has stirred up the kings of the Medes because he intends to destroy Babylonia. That is how he will take revenge for the destruction of his temple. That's how Yahweh Shai is going to get his revenge on this place. He's going to get his revenge on this place by thermonuclear destruction, okay? And if you want to make it out of here with your life, okay, if you value your life, you're going to come back into the names while you still can, while the doors of mercy are still open. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 6. Run away from Babylonia, run for your lives. Do not be killed because of Babylonia's sin. I am now taking revenge and punishing as it deserves, okay? That's what this is about. Okay? That's what this is all about, okay? Calling upon the names of Yahweh Shai, and call and having that right and sound teachings, okay? Starting with the men of GMS, okay? Let's get it. One moment. Turn to the book of Acts. The book of Acts 28, verse 22. The book of Acts 28, verse 22. But we would like to hear your ideas because we know that everywhere people speak against this party to which you belong, okay? And that's GMS, okay? No, that's GMS. Everyone talks about GMS. They said they're the bumites, okay? They're rapists, okay, pedophiles, okay. The GMS get it. So if you look at it on a scale, the ones who's being persecuted is GMS. Okay, so by default, you should, if you was not a part of GMS, you say, oh, maybe they got the truth. Maybe there's something to them. Okay, because why would everyone speak against that sect? Okay, GMS. Okay, and they go into prophecy. Okay, GMS goes into prophecy. Okay, one moment. They bring out scriptures like this. They bring out scriptures like Sirach chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out wisdom of the ancients and will be occupied in prophecy. Okay, they bring this out. Okay, they bring out prophecy. Okay, they're the only group that's talking about the RFID chip heavenly. Okay, they're the only group that's talking about the MOTB. Okay, the mark of the beast. Okay, they're the only group talking about World War III. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, so you get that doctrine while you still can, while the doors of mercy are still available. Okay, because this thing is going down, okay? If you value your life, okay, and your families, okay, you may not be able to deliver your family. You might be able to deliver your family, okay? But it starts with calling upon the names of Yahweh Yahushai, so you can make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. You might can make it. You might or maybe Yahushua might give you a token to make it out of here with your life, okay, and your families and your loved ones. Okay, one moment. Okay, one moment. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 14. Unfaithful people, come back. You belong to me, and I will take you one from each town and two from each clan, and I will bring you back to Mount Zion. Okay, so you might can't rescue your family and your loved ones. Okay, you might only get yourself rescued. Okay, but you'll bring them back in a regeneration when all things are renewed. Okay, when all things are renewed, you'll be able to bring them back. Okay, like some of the brothers were saying. Okay, it's a terrible legacy that goes on if you take the mark of the beast. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, calling upon Yahweh Yahweh's divine name. Okay, why you still can, while the doors of mercy are still open. Okay, because this thing is going down. The book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 21. Yet hope returns when I remember this one thing. Yahweh's unfailing love and mercy still continues, fresh as the morning, as sure as the sunrise. Yahweh is all I have, and so in him I put my hope. Yahweh is good to everyone who trusts in him. So it is best for us to wait in patience to wait for him to save us. And it is best to learn this patience in our youth. When we suffer, we should sit alone in silence, patience. We should bow in submission, for there may be still hope. Though beaten and insulted, we accept it all. Yahweh is merciful and will not reject us forever. He may bring sorrow, but his love for us is sure and strong. He takes no pleasure in causing us grief. Okay, so that's what this is about. Okay, and Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's all we have on this side. Okay, so we could. We're dealing with a cosmic enemy. Okay, Satan comes down with great wrath because he knows his time is but a short. Okay, we're dealing with a cosmic enemy. Okay, one moment. The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. Put on all the armor that Yahweh gives you so that you may be able to stand up against the devil's tricks. For we are not fighting against human beings, but against the wicked spiritual forces in the heavens, world, the rulers of authority, and cosmic powers of this dark age. Okay, and we know that who got the earth right now is the so-called white man. Okay, he's the enemy. Okay, he's Satan's church. He does Satan's bidding. He's Satan's counterpart on the earth. Okay, he does the bidding of Satan. Okay, who is that? The so-called white man. Okay, he does the starting with the head bankers, the elite, the so-called Illuminati. They highly into Satanism and demonic practices. Okay, and teachings. Okay, they highly into that. They study that heavily. Okay, satanic teachings and doctrines. Okay, they highly satanic. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, we got a right and a left. Okay, Yahweh made two things contrary: a righteous and a wicked. You got a right and a left. Okay, the so-called Illuminati, Freemasonry, all these secret societies of Skull and Bones. Okay, they highly into satanic. Okay, teachings. Okay, that's what this is about. And we have to call upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, so we can make it out of here with our life when this thing goes down. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, that's what this thing is all about. Okay, calling upon his divine and holy name. Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 60. I wrote in the book and account all the destruction that was come to Babylonia, as well as these other things about Babylonia. I told Saraya, when you get to Babylonia, be sure when you get to Babylon, be sure to read out loud so the people everything that is written here. Then pray, Yahweh, you have said that you would destroy this place so that there would not be no living creature in it, neither people nor animal, and it will be like a desert forever. Saraya, when you finish reading this book to the people, then tie it to a rock and throw it in the Euphrates River and say, this is what will happen to Babylonia. It will sink and never rise again of the destruction that Yahweh is going to bring on it. The words of Jeremiah are ended, okay, are ended here, okay? So that's it, okay? That's what this is about. That's what this is all about, okay? America's going to be destroyed. The whole country, okay, is going to be destroyed. And so, like we discussed on multiple occasions, if you want to make it out of here with your life, you better call upon the names, okay? So you can make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down, okay? And the tribulation and birth pains that we're going through, they're only going to intensify, okay? Everything is only going to intensify as we tread on these choppy waters. Moving on. The book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 5. They are coming from far off countries at the end of the earth. It is that his anger, Yahweh is coming to devastate the whole country, okay? What country? Babylon the Great, okay? America, okay? That's what this is about. Babylonia the Great, okay? He's going to destroy the whole country, okay? And leave it desolate. Okay? And leave it desolate, okay? That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about, okay? Calling upon his holy and divine name. And that's what this thing's about, okay? So you can make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. Turn to the book of Matthew. Okay, this is the elect. The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 3. Happy are those who know they are spiritually poor. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Happy are those who mourn. Yahweh will comfort them. Happy are those who are humble. They will receive Yahweh has promised. Happy are those whose greatest desires is to do what Yahweh requires. Yahweh will satisfy them fully. Happy are those who are merciful to others. Yahweh will be merciful to them. Happy are the pure in heart. They will see Yahweh. Happy are those who work for peace. Yahweh will call them his children. Happy are those who are persecuted because they do what Yahweh requires. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them, okay? So that's what this is about, okay? You're going to go through your persecutions like we discussed on numerous occasions. You're going to go through your persecutions and your tribulations, okay? But you have to keep posture and calling upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, okay? And in his divine and holy name, okay? And just know that the men of GMS, they have it. They cracked the riddle. They did it, okay? They have it. They did it. They got the whole doctrine of Yahweh Shai intact, okay? They cracked the puzzle, okay? No other group that did it. ICIU, okay? GOCC, okay? ISUBK, they don't have it, okay? GMS, they cracked the riddle, okay? They're the only, to my knowledge, maybe I'm wrong, they're the only group that's pushing the mark of the beast, okay? I'm talking about heavy, okay? Because the hour of temptation is going to come upon us, okay? It's going to come upon us quickly, okay? And you don't want to just catch you off guard, okay? That's why you have to come and stick to the doctrine of Yahweh Shai. That's what this is all about, okay? So you can make it out of here once again with your life when this thing goes down. Serve Yahweh Shai with fear and trembling. Let's get it. The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 12. So then, dear friends, as you always obeyed me when I was with you, it is even more important that you obey me while I am away from you. Keep on working with fear and trembling to complete your salvation, okay? So keep working out your salvation with fear and trembling, okay? Okay, because when this thing goes down, you're gonna want a cloak. Okay, you're gonna want a cloak when this thing goes down. Okay, that's what this thing is all about. Okay, you want to know what this is all about? That's what this thing is all about. Okay, and it's safety. Okay, and repetition, there's safety. Okay, that's what this thing is all about. Calling on his holy and divine name, okay, and praising him. Okay. Okay, one moment. The book of Hebrews. Let's start at verse 1. The book of Hebrews, chapter 2, verse 1. That is why we must hold on all the more firmly to the truth we have heard, so that we will not be carried away. The message given to us, to our ancestors by the angels, was shown to be true, and those who did not follow it or obey it received the punishment they deserve. How then shall we escape if we pay no attention to such a great salvation? Okay, so how are we going to escape? Okay, if we don't pay attention, okay? That's why 2/3 is going to be slated for destruction, okay? That's a lot of people, okay? That's a lot of people. Okay, it's only going to be a little bit of tiny amount of people to make it out of here with their life when this thing goes down. Okay, it's not going to be a lot of people to make it out of here with their life when this thing goes down. Okay, Yahweh Shai only got a tiny bit of people to make it out of here with their life when this thing goes down. Okay, Lord willing, I'm one of them. Okay, I pray to Yahweh Shai that I'm one of the elect. Okay, and I could survive that mark of the beast, the hour of temptation, so I can make it out with my life. Okay, It's going down, okay? And you want to take this thing seriously, okay? You don't want to be destroyed when this thing goes down, okay? You don't want to be cooked. Basically, you're being cooked alive, okay? That's what this is about. The book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. Yahweh Almighty says, the day is coming when all the proud and evil people will burn like straw. On that day they will burn up, and there will be nothing left of them. They're gonna burn up. Okay? That's what this is about. Okay, they're gonna be destroyed. That's what this thing is about, okay? And if you want to make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down, you better have the right doctrine, okay? Because there's many false teachers. Many false teachers went out into the world, okay? Try a spirit, okay? Because many false teachers went into the world, okay? Let's see if we can get it. The book of First John, chapter 4, verse 1. My dear friends, do not believe all who claim to have the spirit, but test them to find out if the spirit they have comes from Yahweh. For many false prophets have gone out everywhere. Okay, so many false prophets have gone out everywhere. Okay, many. Okay, not just some. Okay, as many false prophets have went out into the world. Okay, the GNT reads it a little bit differently. Okay, that's what this is about. That's what this is all about. Okay, and I'll leave you with this. The book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 39. Why should we ever complain when we are punished for our sins? Let us examine our ways and turn back to Yahweh. Let us open our hearts to Yahweh in heaven and pray. We have sinned and have rebelled, and Yahweh has not forgiven us. The book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 55. Yeah, from the bottom of the pit, O Yahweh, I cried out to you. And when I begged you to listen to my cry, you heard. You answered me and told me not to be afraid. You came to my rescue, Yahweh, and saved my life. Judge in my favor along knows the wrongs has done unto me. You know how my enemies hate me and know how they plot against me. You have heard them and sold me, Yahweh. You know all their plots. All day long they talk about me and take their plans. From morning till night they make fun of me. Punish them for what they have done, O Yahweh. Curse them and fill them with despair. Hunt them down and wipe them off the earth. And hopefully yours will edify. I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.